On today's episode of Career Day for Kids, we meet Kenya Friend Daniel, former CNN producer and current National Director of Public Relations at Trader Joe's. So thank you so much for your time, Kenya Friend Daniel. I'm so excited to speak with you. And the very first question I have is, what is your education story? What's your backstory?
First of all, thank you for having me. I'm super excited about doing this, just because I think it's so important. Education story. Of course, elementary, high school, went to school in Orange County, California. I knew early on that I wanted to be a writer ever since I was a kid. So I did a lot of writing growing up. I would write kid stories all the time. I started writing for a little magazine in Orange County when I was in middle school. And then I was the editor of my school newspaper in high school. So I always knew I wanted to be a writer. And I found out that one of the best schools for journalism was Syracuse University. So I applied with the help of my newspaper teacher in high school, who also attended that school. And I got accepted. I had never been outside of California before, and did not visit the school before I went there. I just knew that that's what I wanted to do. And if that was the best, that's where I wanted to be and where I wanted to go. So my dad and I hopped on a plane and flew to Syracuse for the first time. And that's where I did my undergraduate education in broadcast journalism. And then I stayed for a year and a half longer and did a master's in media management.
That's amazing. So can you talk a little bit more about your favorite teacher? Was that your favorite teacher, the journalism teacher that inspired you to go to Syracuse University?
Dr. Corbett, yes. He was. So I have two.
Okay.
This is funny. My mom always laughs at this one. So my second grade teacher was Miss Barnhill. And I didn't always display the best behavior in class. And so my mom would come for like a conference and my mom would be worried. Like, I don't know why Kenya isn't listening. And Miss Barnhill told my mom, and she said, "Don't you worry, Kenya's going to be a fine young lady when she grows up." Wow. And that has always stuck with me, just that, a teacher could see deep down and see through all of the, normal second grade behavior, and just know that there was something in me that was going to be great. So Miss Barnhill in second grade, and then Dr. Corbett in high school, he was fantastic. He did not hesitate to give critical feedback when you messed up, but when you did a good job, he was your biggest fan. He was my biggest fan, and he would cheer me on. And I just think that's important. You need people around you who are going to push you to do better, tell you the truth when you need to improve or when you're not doing things the best. But then you also need someone who's going to be your advocate and who's going to give you praise and accolades when you do something right.
Excellent. That's amazing. And it speaks to the power of an inspirational teacher, which is...
Yes, and words, words matter. I mean, just in second grade, just having that teacher point out that I'm going to be a fine young lady one day. Even in the second grade, it stuck with me. And my mom always teases me now. And she's like, Mrs. Barnhill, she was so right about you.
That's so sweet. That's just, yeah. So you did grow up to be a fine young lady.
I think so.
That's amazing. So then after school, what was your next trajectory? How did you become this PR director for Trader Joe's, which is amazing. So impressive. How did you get there?
So I actually worked while I was in college. So went to Syracuse for broadcast journalism. And while I was in college, I actually walked up to a station one day and knocked on the door and asked if they were hiring and that, I can edit video. And I was in the journalism program and I really, really wanted to be a journalist. So I got a job there as a video editor. They thought I was a bit crazy, but I think they loved the fact that I was bold and, ambitious, I should say. So I got a job there and I did video editing while I was in college. And then once I graduated college, I stayed on a little bit longer. And so I went from a video editor to an assignment manager, to then also being a writer for some of the news shows while I was there. After that, I went to Greenville, South Carolina, and I was a producer there for a few years. And that was excellent. And then I went to Vegas, and then I went to Baltimore to do news. I worked in DC for a little bit, and then I got my job at CNN, which was like the ultimate dream, to be able to be a producer and travel the country covering breaking news. It was really exciting. And so I think just the story there, how I got from there to here where I am, and now I do PR, because at some point I knew I wanted to have a family, and I knew I didn't want to travel all the time. And, you know, I wanted to be around for the holidays and for birthdays. You know, at CNN, you could have plans for the weekend. You could be going out of town on a trip, and if there was breaking news somewhere, you would have to cancel that trip. And so I wanted to do something different, and I thought about PR, and, you know, it allowed me to use a lot of the skills that I had in news and use them somewhere else. So I got into PR, and I did PR for an organization that helps people in the Army and the Navy, military personnel and their families. You know, when a soldier has to go and travel the world to help fight for our country, they often leave behind families, whether it's parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, children, spouses. And so they come in and they have all these programs that support the troops as well as the families. So that was great. I knew that I had to do something that I was passionate about. So I worked there for a little bit, and then we moved to California, and I worked at Mattel, and I did PR there. And my kids absolutely loved it, because every week I was bringing home new toys for them to test out.
Amazing.
And that was fun. And we got to give away a lot of toys to kids in need and who didn't have toys. And so that was amazing. Then I worked for Nestle for a while. My kids loved that too, because they got all the chocolate and the candy, right. and they would have these big Halloween parties where they just had candy all over. And now I'm at Trader Joe's, and they love that too, because they love Trader Joe's and they love Trader Joe's products. And I think, you know, how I got to where I am is that, you know, I wasn't afraid to go where the opportunity was. I wasn't afraid to step out a little bit. And, you know, in all the places that I've been, I had never been there before. I was moving there for the first time, and it was a little scary, but, you know, I followed my dreams and I followed where the opportunity was. And, you know, it landed me here.
I feel like the story, if I'm writing your autobiography, or if I'm writing your biography, it'd start with bold. It's like, can your friend Daniel's story? Because you're so bold. And it's so inspirational. Like, I know there are people that are like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do this wonderful thing, but I'm scared. Or like, what advice do you have for those people?
You know, being afraid means that it's something new, and it's something exciting, and it's something different, and you're going to be okay. Like, it's natural. Like, I wasn't, you know, anytime I had to move or go somewhere, you know, I have a really close-knit family, and I'm from Southern California, and no one really moved outside of California. It was considered like a big deal. Like, why are you moving? Can't you stay here and work? And so whenever I did move, I was nervous and I was a little scared, but that's part of the excitement. That's part of life. You know, to be, if you want to do something and it doesn't make you a little nervous, I start to wonder, like, is it really a growth opportunity? Is it really where I'm supposed to be? So I think you lean into that and know that it's natural, know that you're not alone, know that you're supposed to be a little scared. But if it's something that you want to do, sometimes you have to leave where you are and leave that comfort zone in order to accomplish it.
Oh, that's so perfect. So my last question is always, what piece of advice do you have for future people that are in your field? So either future journalists or future PR people, or what advice would you have given yourself when you were 12 years old?
I would have said, meet as many people as you can. Find people who are doing what you want to do one day. Talk to them. You know, people don't mind you asking them, like, how did you get where you are? Like, what advice would you have for me? I want to do your job one day. What advice do you have? So, find those people who are doing the things that you're passionate about or that you want to do. Talk to them, ask them questions. They do not mind. And I would say be bold, like, and don't limit yourself. The sky is the limit. I had all these goals, and I don't think I truly believed that I would accomplish them because they seem so far out, like to work for CNN one day. And then here I am. So, I mean, it is reachable. You can accomplish it. Be bold. And then I think another thing is just know that you're going to be okay. I think that's the advice that older Kenya would give younger Kenya is work hard, follow your dreams, and you're going to be okay. I think so many times I was nervous about a job opportunity. Am I going to get this job, or, am I going to fit in somewhere, or, how are people going to react to me or treat me? Am I going to make friends when I move? And I did all that stressing for no reason. Everything worked out. And so that's what I think is that, everything's going to work out for you. You're going to be okay. Just follow your dreams, and life is exciting, and there's so much to see and so much to do. So just live it.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Kenya friend Daniel. Thank you for the wonderful advice, and thank you for sharing your story. And
Not a problem.
this is great. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Anytime. Bye-bye.